A few years later, the Athenians made an expedition against the island of Milos, which, like some other islands, had also refused to join the Athenians and wished to remain neutral without helping either side. Before attacking, the Athenians sent representatives to negotiate.
We've not come to make set speeches to you, but calmly to discuss our mutual interests. We invite you, therefore, to say freely what you think and to criticize openly whatever we may say.
That sounds very reasonable, and we agree that each side should put forward their views calmly. Yet what is scarcely consistent with such a proposal is the threat, indeed the certainty, of your making war on us. We fear that even if we prove we're in the right, you will still try to destroy us.
But if you're going to spend the time voicing your suspicions about the future, or if you have met here for any other purpose than to face the facts and to try to save your city from destruction, there is no point in our going on with this discussion.
You have invited us to say what we think. And it is natural that we should have different points of view. So, tell us first what you propose.
For our part, we will use no fine phrases, saying, for example, that we have a right to our empire because we defeated the Persians, or we come against you because you have wronged us. We would simply ask you, on your part, not to deny that you're a threat to us.
We recommend that you try to get what it is possible for you to get. You will understand that justice depends on one's power to enforce it.
Then, in our view, since you will not allow us to speak of justice, but only of expedience, we do think it useful for you, as much as for us, to maintain the principle that there should be just dealing between all states. Otherwise, you might someday find your own fall attended by the most terrible vengeance.
That is something you can leave us to worry about.
Let us rather look clearly at your situation.
What would you suggest?
We think you should surrender.
This would save you from destruction and enable us to profit from your resources.
You would not agree to our being neutral?
No.
You must understand that if you remain neutral, and if we remained on friendly terms with you, our subjects and other neutral states would simply regard it as a sign of our weakness.
But when they see what is happening here, surely the neutral states will conclude that in course of time you will attack them too.
Well, to be frank with you, we're not particularly worried about the mainland states any more than we fear the Spartan army. We are more concerned about islands outside our empire, like yourselves, who threaten our sea routes, or subjects who have already become embittered by the constraint which our empire imposes on them.
But surely, if such violent steps are taken by you to keep your empire, and by your subjects to escape from it, we who are still free would be foolish not to face you firmly, rather than to submit to slavery.
No, not if you're sensible. We're far too strong for you.
Oh, the fortunes of war are not always settled by greater strength. Your own past example against the Persians gives us hope.
Hope is apt to be an expensive commodity.
Our position is difficult, and you may be sure that we know it. Nevertheless, we have a kind of strength which you lack.
We should be interested to hear of it.
We are standing for what is right against what is wrong.
Ah, yes. Men in a hard position generally say that. They do so simply to give themselves a kind of moral glow rather than to define any reality. In our opinion, common sense is the sounder morality, and to ask oneself where one's interests lie is more useful than a generalized feeling that one is acting nobly.
Common sense suggests to us that what we lack in power will be made up for by our friendship with the Spartans, for such friendship is in their interest as much as ours. Past history also suggests that the outcome of war is full of surprises, and that since we are in the right, the gods are more likely to favor us rather than you.
As far as the favor of the gods is concerned, we believe we have as much right to it as you have. Our beliefs about the gods and our knowledge of men suggest to us it is a necessary law of nature to rule wherever one can.
And as for your confidence that Sparta will help you, we would point out that though the Spartans are sound enough over their own affairs, their foreign policy is not especially dependable. Milos is an island. We are in control of the sea.
We put our trust in the gods. and in the Spartans. We will not surrender in a moment the liberty which our city has enjoyed for 700 years. We are sorry.
We are sorry too.
And we would like to say that you seem unique in supposing the future more certain than what is before your eyes, simply because you would like to believe it so.
The Athenians immediately began to besiege Milos. As there was some treachery from inside, the Melians were soon compelled to surrender. This time the Athenians did put to death all the men of military age and sold the women and children of Milos as slaves.